Strangers, welcome to the show. You're about to witness a fascinating little social experiment. As it turns out, these fine specimen here have never even seen some of my very favorite classics. So I've decided to try a little experiment with them. It's not like they're really in a position to say no, is it? During the movie, the participants must decide who they would play as a character, should that movie ever be adapted into a real-life Dungeons & Dragons game. This week, my lovely little Canadian lab rats are going to be watching a classic comedy from 1985. For tonight, dear viewers, for the first time ever, we shall be watching the delicious and highly quotable movie, Clue. So, open a dwarven ale and get your kobold wings ready, will you? And remember this, test subjects should be like Kleenex, soft, strong, and disposable. Enjoy! Cubicles number 1 through 4, please join in. Now then, for the people at home, please identify yourself.
Hello, my name is Daphne and I live in a cryo chamber.
Hi, my name is Kira.
Hi, my name is Thomas.
Hi, my name is Zach.
Ah, Zach, I see you're new here. There's been some sort of activity down in the entrails of my ship recently. Some kind of illegal Twitch transmission going out live from my chrono cube right under my nose. I think it's called Lost Chronomancer or something. Have you heard of it yet?
No, I haven't. I just got here.
No, well, I hear there's a video on demand. Maybe you could try and infiltrate them for me.
I could? When is it?
Well, it's on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. I mean, I've had enough of this. It's been going on under my nose all this time. Well, you know, I don't have a nose, but you know what I mean. It is time we found out the culprit. Tonight is the night. For tonight, we have arrived back at the Collector Planet Classic. Wait a minute, this isn't Classica. We're back around the Latarata, the planet of snark and whimsy. What is this? Someone's been messing with my controls again. Who could it be? I need a clue. Speaking of which, this week, my pets, we shall be watching a classic comedy from 1985, appropriately so, called Clue. So, what do you people know about this movie?
Well, I have no clue.
Oh,
Ba-dum-tsh.
how long have you been thinking about that one?
4 hours.
It's based on a sick board game that I am super good at.
She's super good at it.
So good at critical
Before our
thinking
cryo
skills.
chamber days, she would beat me
I would-
all the time.
Kick ass at this game.
Well, it is based on the popular board game of the same name. It could be argued that this is the best adaptation of a popular board game ever. I'm looking at you, Battleship. What's next? Uno the movie? When originally released in theaters, Clue had 3 different endings. Depending on which theater you saw the movie in, you'd get a different conclusion to the story, much like the board game. When I saw this movie, I got one of the less interesting endings, as opposed to the good one featured tonight. It would explain why this movie didn't do so well in theaters. But, at around the same time, video stores started popping up, and Clue, the movie, became an instant hit with the home crowd. This movie has since become a beloved classic, with memorable quotes delivered by a masterclass of supporting actors. Now, pay close attention, my pets, for at the end of the movie, I'll be asking you which characters you'd wish to play. Should our sweet, very young voters choose this project to be the one we eventually adapt into a full-fledged D&D adventure. Should you have any questions, I'll be popping in once in a while throughout the movie. Now, sit back and enjoy the show. The film you are about to watch tonight is filled with hilarity, clever dialogue, great comedic timing, and memorable lines. As for the promise I made earlier concerning our mystery guests, those renegade pirates roaming aboard my ship, well, let me tell you, I promise you, by the end of the movie, the identity of the culprit shall be revealed. For I already have my suspicions, you know. And, well, to make a long story short,
Too late.
Late.
enjoy!
Man, I hope
Okay,
he
but
doesn't.
what ending are we getting? Is the question.
The good one.
The
Apparently.
good one.
Where they all die.
Oh, that sounds like the good one.
Man, I hope he doesn't reveal the identity of the beautiful player who plays that wonderful cleric vampire in that
I don't
transmission.
like clerics, like someone said last episode we filmed.
Well, I didn't say it was
Whoa.
me. I just said they were beautiful. But thank you,
Sorry.
Zach. Oh my
I just said I
god.
don't like clerics. I feel like this logo has changed.
Yup.
What year is this?
1985.
Alright.
1985.
Oh, straight to the point.
I like the music.
I like the
Tim
fact that
Curry.
they say alphabetical order.
That's smart.
That's really fun. Maybe it's a clue.
Oh.
Every time we play Clue from now on, we put that music.
That's a good idea. I
You get
approve.
super distracted.
Yup.
Cool car.
Damn.
Is that Mr. White?
There's Mrs. Peacock,
Yeah, now we're looking for
Mr.
a man.
Green,
Mr. Green.
Colonel Mustard,
I know there was somebody named Plum.
Mr. White.
That's the first one.
Are
I
we
said.
thinking of Reservoir? What Reservoir?
Are we confused?
No,
Ow.
puppies!
That's some scary looking dogs.
Hi,
No, they
puppy.
look nice. Hi, puppies.
They look scary. I'd give them some water.
Oh.
He came prepared.
Aww.
For your
So,
shoes.
who's dying? Is it that guy?
It looks like a butler.
He looks like someone ready to
Yeah.
die.
He does look like a butler. Oh,
Oh,
she
yeah.
has boobies.
Toma, you know
Got
the
them,
game, the game
bonkers.
mode in Gmod Murder, that's based
Yep.
on the game Clue.
Yep.
It's
everything
exactly
ready?
that room, the
You
main
have your,
main map.
instructions.
It's exactly
nice.
that house.
I didn't not notice. That's really nice.
Look, it's exactly that.
Yep. I see it now.
Everything all right, Mrs. Ho?
This is how.
Dinner will be ready at 7:30.
Oh,
Colonel Mustard.
precise.
That looks like the Colonel. Let's look at his eyebrows.
May I take your coat? It is Colonel Mustard, isn't it?
No, that's not my name. My name is
Come here, sir. But tonight, you may well feel obliged to my employer for the use of an alias.
Oh,
Interesting.
weird.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Wadsworth, sir. The
Oh, he's the butler.
Butler.
I'm already getting good at this.
You're so
deduction.
good. You're gonna
Okay.
find out who killed him in no time.
I am.
Yvette, would you attend
Damn.
the Colonel and give him anything?
I know, right?
Jesus.
They're really out there.
Wadsworth, I was...
Honestly, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean, pop off.
Do come in, madam. You are expected.
Do you know who I am?
Only
Miss
that you are to be
Scarlet.
known as
Mrs.
Mrs.
White?
White.
Mrs.
Yes.
White. It's not
It's
Mr. White, it's Mrs. White.
Everyone's
Also,
dressed
you're
up
not wearing
beautifully.
white.
Yeah, she's not wearing white. How will we know?
Oh, does it smell like poop or does it smell like murder?
May I introduce you? Mrs. White, this is Yvette, the maid. I see you know each other.
Hello.
And this is Mrs. Peacock.
Oh,
How do you do?
Yvette,
She has
will you go
a
and check
pretty,
that dinner will be ready as
unique
soon as all
style,
the
I
guests
think.
have arrived?
She has a peacock pin.
Yep. She has a bird nest on her
Same,
head.
Miss Peacock, same.
Is this the right address to meet Mr. Body?
You must be Mr. Green.
Mr. Body!
It should be just off there.
So that's not Miss Peacock.
It's
That must
not.
be Miss Red? Lady
Scarlet.
Red? Scarlet.
That must be it.
And Mr. Green.
Where's the
Plum.
first stop?
Oh, Mr. Plum. That's a big house. The maid. What's going on?
It's just
The dress
every
is
single
so short. The
every single
choker.
character. Even the women are like, and I'm kind of here for it.
Mother.
What a godforsaken place.
Oh,
That's not for the
What?
Professor Plum. And Miss Scarlet, I didn't realize you were acquainted.
We weren't.
He just felt free to put his hand on my butt.
May I
Ooh.
present Professor Plum
That's a
and
nice
Miss
dress.
Scarlet. Of course, since you've each been addressed by a pseudonym, you'll have realized that nobody here is being addressed by their real name. Dinner. You'll find your names beside your places. Please be seated.
Weird, because I already know how the mansion is laid out because of the game. Not the board
Indeed,
game.
no, sir. I'm merely a humble butler.
What exactly do you do?
I buttle, sir.
Which means what?
The butler is head of the kitchen and dining room. I keep everything tidy. That's all.
Well, what's all this about, Butler? This dinner party?
Ours not to reason why, ours what to do and die. Merely quoting, sir, from Alfred Lord Tennyson.
I prefer Kipling myself. The female of the species is more deadly than the male. Do you like Kipling, Miss Scarlet?
Sure, I'll eat anything.
Shark's fin soup, madame.
So is this for our host?
No, sir, for the seventh guest, Mr. Body.
I thought Mr. Body was our host. So who is our host, Mr. Wadsworth?
No one
now,
should
should we
eat
wait
shark
the other
fin soup.
guest?
I will keep something warm for you.
What did you have in mind, dear?
Boobs.
Shark fin soup.
it's illegal.
It's so awkward.
Yep. That's what I was about to say.
Well, someone's got to break the ice, and it might as well be me. Our friends
Oh,
meet
boy.
together for the first time to get acquainted.
Man,
so I'm
she won't
perfectly
shut
prepared
up.
to start the ball rolling. I mean,
I'm
I
already
have
annoyed.
absolutely no idea what we're doing here, but I am determined to enjoy myself. Oh my, this soup's delicious, isn't it?
Go back, see those birds.
I know who you are. I work in Washington, too.
Washington, so you're a politician's wife.
Yes, I am. So what does your husband do?
Nothing.
He's dead.
Well, he just lies around on his back all day.
Oh, he might be dead.
God damn.
He's
Spills something
not
over
good with cutlery.
This dude is a serial spiller.
I love her little maid outfit. Oh my gosh.
It's terrible.
I can't get over it.
Like, everything is somewhat believable except her.
Oh, it's the one thing I do believe.
The only thing I preach is this dress.
This is one of my favorite recipes.
I know, madam.
Oh,
So what
That's
do you
unsettling.
do? Come on, what do you do? I mean, how are we to get acquainted if we don't say anything about ourselves?
Perhaps he doesn't want to get acquainted with you.
that actress looks really familiar. Miss Scarlet. Oh,
You're not going to mention the coincidence that you also live in Washington, D.C.?
How did you know that? Have we met before?
I've certainly seen you before. Although you may
Ooh.
not have seen me.
But does anyone here
A
not
brothel?
live in Washington?
And the rest of us all live in a government town. Anyone here not earn their living from the government one way or another?
Wadsworth, where's our host and why we've been brought here?
I think they're all giving
Good evening. You are
like a
eagerly
reason for other people to kill them.
You locking me in?
awaited.
They all
May I take
hate
your
each
bag?
Yep.
other.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Mr. Body?
What are they all doing here?
Eating dinner. Do sit down, Mr. Body.
No, you can take that away, honey.
He's cool.
she doesn't seem to like him very much.
Well, I believe we all received a letter. My letter says, it will be to your advantage to be present on this date, because a Mr. Body will bring to an end a certain long-standing, confidential, and painful financial liability.
I received a similar letter.
So did we, didn't we?
That's
I
weird.
also received a letter. No thanks, Yvette. I just ate.
Now, how did you know her name?
We know each other. Don't we, do?
Ah,
Ew!
Oh,
Disgusting.
yucky! That dress is for looking only.
Yeah!
I'm interested in you in fruit.
It's a worship material.
In that case, may I
What?
suggest we adjourn to the
What?
study for coffee and brandy? At which point I believe our unknown host will reveal his intentions.
He's opening the brown letter, just like in the game.
Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm instructed to explain to you what you all have in common with each other. Unless you would care to do the honors, Mr. Buddy?
They know who I am?
I don't think so. You've never identified yourself to them, I believe.
It's a hoax. I suggest we all leave.
I'm sorry, sir. You cannot leave this house.
No? Who's gonna stop me? There's no way out.
All the windows have bars. All the doors are locked.
This is an outrage. You can't hold us prisoner.
That's fucked up.
Please return to the study. Everything will be explained.
Man, the outfits in this movie are awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all have one thing in common. You're all being blackmailed. For some considerable time, all of you have been paying what you can afford, and in some cases more than you can afford, to someone who threatens to expose you. And none of you know who's blackmailing you.
I mean, nobody could blackmail me. My life is an open book. I've never done anything wrong.
Anybody else wish to deny it?
Why does
Very
Miss
well.
Scarlet look a
As
little bit
everyone here
like
is in the
Sigourney
same boat,
Weaver?
there's no harm in my revealing some details, and my instructions.
Oh boy.
are to do so. Thank you, Yvette.
Just saying.
Let me look at her again. The bow.
Professor Plum, you were once a professor of psychiatry. His license to practice has been lifted, correct?
Why? What did he do?
You know what doctors aren't allowed to do with their lady patients?
Yeah?
Well, he did.
Oh, how disgusting.
That's not good.
That's fucked
Mrs.
up.
Peacock? How then do you justify taking bribes in return for delivering your husband, Senator Peacock's vote to certain lobbyists?
My husband is a paid consultant. There is nothing wrong with that.
Not if it's publicly declared, perhaps. But if the
They're all
payment is delivered by slipping... But you've been paying blackmail for over a year now to keep that story out of the papers.
So I am willing to believe you. I, too, am being blackmailed for something I didn't do.
Me too. And me.
Not me.
You're not being blackmailed?
Oh, I'm being blackmailed, all right. But I did what I'm being blackmailed for.
No.
Love that for
No.
her.
Well, to be perfectly frank, I run a specialized hotel and a telephone service which provide gentlemen with the company of a young lady.
Brothel! I was right.
So how do you know Colonel Mustard works in Washington? Is he one of your clients?
Certainly not.
I was asking Miss Scarlet.
Well, you tell him it's not true.
It's not true.
Is that true?
No, it's not true.
Ha ha! So it is true.
A double negative.
Double negative? You mean you have photographs? That sounds like a confession to me. In fact, the double negative has led to proof positive. I'm afraid you gave yourself away.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right.
Whoa.
Seriously, I
Oh.
don't see what sort.
And, Colonel, you drive a very expensive car for someone who lives on a colonel's pay.
I came into money during the war when I lost my mommy and daddy.
Damn.
Mrs. White, you've been paying our friend the blackmailer ever since your husband died under, shall we say, mysterious circumstances.
I see. That's why he was lying on his back in his coffin.
I didn't.
It does look like Sigourney Weaver.
Thank you.
He didn't actually seem to like me very much. He had threatened to kill me in public. Why would he want to kill you in public?
I think she meant he threatened in public to kill her.
Was that his final word on the matter?
Being killed is pretty final, wouldn't you say?
What did he do for a living?
Nuclear physics.
What was he like?
He was always a rather stupidly optimistic man. I mean, I'm afraid it came as a great shock to him when he died, but he was found dead at home. His head had been cut off, and so had his,
Damn.
you know. I had been out all weekend at the movies.
You miss him?
Well, it's a matter of life after death. Now that he's dead, I have a life.
But he was your second husband. Your first husband also disappeared.
But that was his job. He was an illusionist.
But he never reappeared.
He wasn't a very good illusionist.
I love the dialogue in this movie.
I love
I'm
Miss
not going
White.
to wait for Wadsworth here to unmask me. I work for
He
the
got
State
very
Department,
handsome when he took off his
and I'm a
glasses.
homosexual.
Oh.
It just leaves Mr. Body.
It's your little secret.
His secret? Oh, hadn't you guessed? He's the one who's blackmailing you all.
Damn. Damn. That's a huge blood kiss.
That was a big fight scene.
Is that necessary?
God damn.
Listen! Blackmail depends on secrecy. You've all admitted how he's been able to blackmail you. All you have to do is tell the police he'll be convicted and your troubles will be over.
It's not so easy. You'll never tell the police.
Then I shall. I have evidence in my possession, and this conversation is being tape recorded. Tell them the truth, and Mr. Body will be behind bars.
I think I can help them make up their minds. Can I just get my little bag from the hall? Who can guess what's in here?
We didn't know we were meeting you tonight. Did you know you were meeting us?
Oh, yes.
What were you told precisely?
Merely that you were all meeting to discuss our little financial arrangements. And if I did not appear, Wadsworth would be informing the police about it all. Excuse me.
He seems so confident now, but he wanted to leave not long
Why
ago.
not?
Yeah.
I want to be
enjoy
Miss
getting
Scarlet. She'd be awesome. Her confidence is awesome.
Yeah, but she's kind of doing illegal things.
Oh, it's a
candlestick.
weapon.
Candlestick.
Oh, that's so cool!
A rope.
The weapons from the game.
Yeah.
In your hands, you each have a lethal weapon. If you denounce me to the police, you will also be exposed and humiliated. But if one of you kills Wadsworth now, no one but the 7 of us will ever know. He has the key to the front door, which he said would only be opened over his dead body. I suggest we take him up on that offer. The only way to avoid finding yourselves on the front pages is for one of you to kill Wadsworth. Now.
We're gonna hear all the weapons, is that it?
He's gonna be hanged, stabbed, shot.
Is he alive?
Body.
Stand back! He's dead!
Or he's not actually dead.
I didn't!
Well, you had the gun. If you didn't shoot him, who did?
Nobody! Look, there's no gunshot wound. Somebody tried to grab the gun from me in the dark and the gun went off. Look, the bullet broke that vase on the mantle. Oh, sorry, excuse me. He's absolutely right. Look, there's a bullet.
They're so polite.
How did he die? I don't know.
Well, one of us must have killed him.
Well, I didn't do it.
Oh, son, I need a drink.
Maybe he was poisoned.
Mrs. Peacock, it's all right. It's all right. Anything. Sit down. Sit down, Mrs.
God
He
damn.
didn't even slap her face. He slapped her like.
Yeah, her neck. It would make her throw up, I don't know. Yvette!
You're alive.
No thanks to you.
What do you mean?
You locked me up with a murder, you idiot. It's what Mrs. White said in the study. One of you is the killer.
How did you know he said that?
I was listening.
But why were you screaming in here all by yourself?
Because I am frightened, me too. I also drink the cognac. Mon Dieu.
This is absolutely terrible. It's not what I'd intended.
Not what you intended.
So you're not the butler?
I'm not the butler, but I'm a butler. In fact, I was his butler. I invited you. In fact, I wrote the letters. It was all my idea.
I think you had better explain.
Please sit down, everyone.
Oh my god, the drama.
There's
Yup.
so much drama.
And a dead body. Just laying on the floor.
Jesus. Of course.
It's called fan service.
I was Mr. Barry's butler. This was both true and I was once his butler. He hated my wife for the same reason that he hated all of you. He believed that you were all thoroughly un-American.
And there's so much things
For some
happening in
reason, he
this
felt that it
movie.
was inappropriate for a senator to
God
have a
damn.
corrupt wife, for a doctor to take advantage of his patients, for a wife to emasculate her husband, and so forth.
But this is ridiculous. If he was such a patriotic American, why didn't he just report us to the authorities?
And he decided to put his information to good use and make a little money out of it. What could be more American than that?
It's
And
true.
what was your role in all this?
I was a victim too. At least my wife was. She had friends who were socialists.
Oh my God.
Malheur.
Not the socialist?
My god.
Well, we all make mistakes.
Titty handkerchief.
We had no money, and the price of his silence was that we worked for him for nothing. We were slaves. Well, to make a long story short,
Too late.
the suicide of my wife preyed on my mind.
Wait.
And
I get it.
I resolved to put Mr. Body behind bars. It seemed to me that the best way to do it was to confront Mr. Body with his crimes and then turn him over to the police.
So, everything is explained.
Nothing's explained. We still don't know who killed him.
Well, I didn't do it.
Well, one of us did. We all had the opportunity. We all had a motive.
Maybe it wasn't one of us.
Well, who else could it have been?
Who else is in the house?
Only the cook.
The cook!
And cook.
The secret passage.
No. She's not here.
Secret tunnel.
No!
She's also
Dead
dead.
cook.
Mrs. Ho.
Please.
But there's a secret passage in the kitchen because the other corner.
Who would want to kill the cook?
Dinner wasn't that bad.
How can you make jokes at a time like this?
It's my defense mechanism.
I've admitted nothing.
Well, you paid the blackmail. How many husbands have you had?
Mine or other women's?
Yours.
5.
5.
Yes, just the 5. Husbands should be like Kleenex. Soft, strong, and disposable.
You lure men to their deaths like a spider with flies.
Let me just take a picture of that real quick.
If it wasn't you, then who was it? It was
The
you,
women
Mrs.
in this
Peacock,
movie are
wasn't it?
absolutely amazing.
They're amazing, and the men are so unmemorable.
No.
I suggest we take the cook's body into the study.
Look! What? The body's gone!
Oh.
Nothing.
God damn.
Mr. Body's body, it's gone.
Maybe he wasn't dead.
He was.
We should have made sure.
How? By cutting his head off, I suppose.
That wasn't called for.
We'd better look for him.
Oh,
My, oh my.
Miss Ho, you don't deserve that.
It really doesn't.
Well,
I have a really vicious love for you, Vet.
I thought he was.
I mean, I do too, but I'm just confused.
Maybe there is life after death.
She's just everything. She's sexy, she's French, she's dumb.
Mr. Body killed the cook.
Yes!
My God. Everything I need in a partner. Everything I have in a partner.
Oh, shots fired.
What's this, Wadsworth?
I'm afraid those are the negatives to which Colonel Mustard earlier referred.
Oh my God.
Very pretty. Would you like to see these, Yvette? They might shock you.
No, merci. I am a lady.
Oh, how do you know what kind of pictures they are if you're such a lady?
Please.
No, I'm afraid there's something in them that concerns me, too.
Let me see.
Oh, no. Nobody can get into that position.
Sure they can. Let me show you.
Oh no.
Get off me!
That's
What the fuck's going on?
So much happened in that one scene. I can't even.
The fuck?
He did? Oh. He wasn't bleeding before.
I'm confused as fuck now.
Who do you think did it?
Sonny cancer!
It's gonna.
Nice cat.
He's got new injuries. Well, he's certainly dead now. Why would anyone want to kill him twice?
Seems so unnecessary.
Well, that's what we call overkill.
Unless he wasn't dead before. We're trying to find out who killed him, and where, and with what. There's no need to shout. I'm not shouting! All right, I am.
Oh, the candlestick's up there.
I'm shouting.
Oh.
No!
That's Kent.
People need to stop dying.
No, he's alright. He's alright.
He's alright. He just has a concussion.
Now, Mr. Body.
Now, look, we still have all these weapons. The gun, the rope, the wrench, the lead pipe. Let's put them all in this cupboard and lock it.
What are you doing with the key?
Put it in my pocket.
Why?
Well, to keep it safe, obviously. If I've got it, I know I'm safe.
We don't know that we are.
I have an idea. We'll throw it away.
Good idea.
Good idea.
Wonderful, right away. Brilliant.
That'll do it.
Sorry. Can we help?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb the whole household, but my car broke down out here, and I was wondering if I could use your phone.
Just a moment, please. Very well, sir. Would you care to come in?
Wadsworth kind of looks like Jimmy Fallon.
But I think there's a phone in the lounge. Thank you.
He put the key back in his pocket, though.
That's weird.
Where's the key? In my pocket.
Not that key, the key to the cupboard with the weapons.
Do you still wish me to throw it away?
Yes!
He has a lot of keys.
Wadsworth, let me out.
No.
Why not?
We got to know who did it. We're all in this together now.
Oh, Wadsworth, I'll make you sorry you ever started this. One day when we're alone together.
Mrs. White, no man in his right mind will be alone together with you.
Oh,
Well, I could use a drink.
so could I.
Just checking.
Everything all right?
Yep, 2 corpses. Everything's fine. Wadsworth, am I right in thinking there is nobody else in this house?
No.
Then there is someone else in this house.
No, sorry. I said no, meaning yes.
No meaning yes? So is there someone else, or isn't there yes or no?
No.
No, there is, or no, there isn't?
Yeah.
Please! Don't you think we should get that man out of the house before he finds out what's been going on here?
Oh, who cares? The police will be here by then, and there are 2 dead bodies in the study.
Well, there is still some confusion as to whether or not there's anybody else in this house. I told you there isn't. There isn't any confusion or there isn't anybody else. Either.
It's just him who's confused.
What was the question? Is there anybody else in the house? No! I suggest we handle this in proper military fashion. We split up and search the house.
Split up!
If we split up into pairs, whichever one of us is left with a killer might get killed.
Then we would have discovered who the murderer is.
But the other half of the pair would be dead.
This is war, Peacock.
Bon, d'accord. But it is dark upstairs and I am frightened of the dark. Will anyone go with me?
I will.
I will.
No, thank you. I suggest we all draw lots for partners. Ready? The 2 shortest together, the next 2 shortest together. Agreed? And I suggest the 2 shortest search the cellar and so on up.
Did you really have to compare that, Yvette?
She is trying her best, okay? don't make
I'm
fun
not
of
mad
her.
at Yvette. I'm mad at the person who wrote Yvette.
That's gotta be a fucking euphemism for something.
It's you and me, honey bunch.
Creep.
So, in case you were wondering about the actors, Professor Plum is played by Christopher Lloyd, who you might remember as Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Who's Professor Plum again?
The guy who keeps grabbing everyone's butt.
Okay. Sure.
And in case you were wondering, the delightful butler in this movie is played by Tim Curry, the actor who played the original Pennywise the Clown in the 80s adaptation of Stephen King's It, along with being Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And here in this movie, he almost steals the entire show. That's it. That's all I have for you. Back to the movie.
It's holding her.
Nobody trusts nobody.
I think I'd get killed so quickly.
We definitely would.
We'd end up getting distracted by something and then it's just all...
We'd find like a globe and just be like, oh, I didn't know the capital of this country was this.
Ladies first.
No, you can go first.
Well, what are you afraid of? A fate worse than death?
No, just death. Isn't that enough?
I really don't know who could have done it.
Well, if they're both cautious like this,
Ladies
probably
first.
none of them.
No thanks.
Even though Miss White is very suspicious.
That's
But then
so
who
awkward.
killed them all?
Bro, just do something.
This is very bimbo and himbo.
She has the worst French accent possible.
Yeah. I hate it when in movies they have someone that's French, but then the person is obviously not French and you can tell. It's really annoying.
What room's this?
Search me.
Right?
Get
Oh no.
That was gross.
Oh man. That's just fucking weird.
Interesting. Oh! The police are here.
Oh.
It's him. Oh no. I bet it's Mr. Body. I bet he's still alive.
Yep.
Why would he
Think
burn
so?
the evidence?
Yeah.
Oh! He opened the
He
thing.
wants to frame everyone.
I'm in this big house, and I've been locked into the lounge.
Secret tunnel.
Yes.
Secret tunnel.
Funny thing is,
Oh no!
there's a whole
Don't kill.
of people here having some sort of party. And one of them is my old boss from...
I kind of feel like it's the butler.
I think it's his old boss that he recognized. But the
but
butler
it
would
would-
be the
yeah.
boss of someone.
But what if he's
Maybe he's
lying
not
about
a
being
butler.
a butler? Yeah, he could have just made it up on the spot. I'm excited to see the end of this.
Yeah, me too.
The door's locked.
Where's the key?
The key's gone.
Never mind about the key. Unlock the door.
I can't unlock the door with the
one collective brain cell.
I know! I have it! We're doing our best!
You're shooting at it!
That's so dumb. I'm losing brain cells.
Well, I don't know if you can remember this, but you can
Been
shoot,
shot.
you can shoot the candle on the chandeliers with the gun in the murder game on Gmod.
Ooh.
Could have been killed!
Oh no! Listen.
You can cut it with the knife when you're the murderer.
That's a cool murder weapon.
There's a secret passageway from the conservatory.
It's not the same gun!
From the cupboard?
But it was locked!
No, it was unlocked.
Unlocked?
But yes, see for yourself.
Sounds more German than French.
See for yourself.
Yeah, and she knew how to use the gun also.
How
That's
did you
weird.
know it was unlocked? How did you know that you could get at
Yeah.
the gun? I didn't.
Well, she actually used it without any
It
effort.
was open already. I
That's
like
true.
your story.
That's weird.
Ooh.
That's me when my phone rings.
Why?
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
I found an abandoned car down near the gates of this house. Did the driver come in here for any help by any chance?
No.
Well, actually, yes.
No.
There seemed to be some kind of disagreement.
No.
Yes.
Can I use your phone?
Of course you may, sir. You may use the one in the, No. You could use the one in the No. Oh, would you be kind enough to wait in the, library?
Sure.
I'm having the time of my life watching
Don't
this
I know
movie.
you from...
So casual.
This is so goofy, man.
If it isn't Yvette that's killed everyone, I'm not going to be satisfied.
Oh, I hope it's Yvette.
Not the cognac, just in case.
Just in case of what?
You just locked the police officer.
You can't just keep locking people in various rooms.
Especially a police officer.
That's freaky.
Hello? And who shall I say is calling? Would you hold on, please?
Even he's afraid.
Get me out of here! What's going on around here? And why are you receiving phone calls from J. Edgar Hoover?
J. Edgar Hoover?
That's right! The head of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Why is J. Edgar Hoover on your phone? I don't know. He's on everybody else's. Why shouldn't he be on mine?
What's going on here?
We're having a party.
Mind if I look around?
Sure. You can show him around, Mr. Green.
Me?
Yes.
Fine. Officer, come with me. I'll show you the dining room, or the kitchen, or the ballroom.
Hey, it's Saul's brother
Make
in
it look
Better Call
convincing.
Saul.
Is it?
So, this is the dining room.
Absolutely.
kidding.
Took me
What's
a
going
while
on
to
in
recognize
those
him,
two
but
Officer, I don't think you should go in there.
Why not?
he doesn't look the same, but he's
all
got the
too
same
shocking.
voice.
Oh my.
Oh, life could be a dream.
Oh,
Take you up in paradise up above.
Oh!
that's disgusting.
Love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again.
Not all that shocking. These folks are just having a good time.
If you would let me spend my whole life loving you, life could be a dream.
Damn.
Not gonna drive home, are you?
He won't be driving home, officer. I promise you that.
Somebody will give him a lift, huh?
Oh, we'll get him a car.
A long black car.
A limousine.
He's so dumb.
Officer.
You're too late. I've seen it all.
You have? I can explain everything.
You don't have to.
I don't?
Don't worry. There's nothing illegal about any of this.
Are you sure?
Of course. This is America.
I see.
It's a free country. Don't you know that?
I didn't know it was that free.
It's a swinger's house.
May I use your phone now?
Certainly.
Why did you lock him in again?
We haven't finished searching the house yet. We're running out of time. Only 15 minutes before the police come. The police already
The
came.
police is here.
Let's get on with
It's
it.
not the same one.
Oh! Look!
Their secret tunnel.
I wonder where this one goes.
Well, let's find out.
Secret tunnel.
The secret tunnels are exactly where they are in the video game too. They really recreated the map. Like
That's cool.
exactly. I just didn't know it was from a movie.
Hello, hello again. Shaboom and hope we'll meet again. Our life could be a dream.
That's
Oh,
a masculine.
God.
That's a masculine arm, though.
It's A, I'm telling you.
And where's the maid?
Maid's in the cellar, in the attic.
Oh, yep, she's there.
Why is she alone though?
Oh
Yep,
my goodness.
and she's not freaking out.
Why are her boobies like jelly? Sorry.
Recognize you. They must have, and not just my face. They know every inch of my body. And they're not the only ones. It's you!
Huh? What?
I don't know what it is.
She's not even French.
No, I'm not.
Of course she wasn't.
I feel
But I
betrayed.
have a feeling that I'm in danger.
Wait, so
You know,
Yvette
that
knew
big,
the
ugly house
person,
on top.
Yeah.
Hello?
but she wasn't the person.
Hello?
No. I think it's the butler.
Are you there?
Study with the pipe.
I am your singing telegram.
Unnecessary.
What the fuck?
She was only there for like 30 seconds.
I mean, if that was your job, maybe she's better dead.
Zach! So many people are gonna be dead.
So Yvette is missing,
Yvette's dead.
but why is Mrs. Scarlett alone? Who's supposed to be with her?
The colonel. Oh no! That must be a shit way to go.
Yep. They don't even say anything.
No!
Oh no.
There's
Not
so
the
much
police
murder.
officer.
Why are you guys surprised?
Damn.
We saw the scenes where they get killed.
I know! It's
Let
just-
us be sad.
It hurts.
Meaningless murders.
Neither of them
Meaningless
shot.
murders.
I thought I heard a gun.
So did I. I thought I heard the front door slam.
Oh, God. The murderer must have run out.
Stop picking
Oh,
up the
no.
murder weapons. No!
Just a random body.
3 murders.
Oh god.
I am your singing telegram.
Bam.
I am your singing telegram.
This is getting serious just now. Where the fuck have you been?
Should have been serious after the first murder.
Very well. I know who did it.
You do? And furthermore, I'm going to tell you how it was all done.
J'accuse?
Follow me.
Is he gonna say j'accuse?
J'accuse.
If you understand what happened, I shall need to take you through the events of the evening step by step. At the
Let's
start
do
of
it.
the evening, Yvette was here by herself, waiting to offer you
Fuddle
all
me.
a glass of champagne.
That's not
Was in the hall.
champagne.
And the cook was in here alive. And then the doorbell rang. And it was you. Yes? I asked you for your coat, and I recognized you as Colonel Mustard, and I prevented you from telling me your real name because I didn't want any of you to use any name other than your pseudonym, and I introduced myself to you as the butler, and I ran across the hall to the library.
You're really gonna...
And then Yvette met you, and smiled, and poured you a drink. And the doorbell rang, and it was Mrs. White looking pale and tragic, and I took her coat and hung it up. And a crash of lightning. And to make a long story short,
Too late.
One by one you all arrived. And then the door was struck by the cook. And we went into the dining room.
What a plot synopsis.
You didn't need to watch the movie.
I'm getting there. You all open your presents. Mr. Body, switch out the lights.
Who's gonna be dead now?
Everyone.
Oh, Grant.
Oh.
Mr. Body lay on the floor, apparently dead. He was dead. I examined him. Then why was he bashed on the head a few minutes later with a candlestick if he was dead already?
He lied.
I made a mistake. But if so, why was Mr. Body pretending to be dead? The bullet grazed his ear.
So whoever grabbed the gun from me in the dark was trying to kill him.
You said, maybe it's poisoned. She screams, Mr. Green.
Again.
I have to stop her screaming. Then more screaming. Yvette, the billiard room. We all rushed up. No.
No.
No. Maybe one of us was murdering the cook. Who wasn't here with us?
Do you know?
I do.
Scarlet looks suspicious.
That's true.
How could he risk it? We might have seen him running back.
Not if they used this secret passage. And the murderer ran back down the secret passage to the study.
What? How did you know?
This house belongs to a friend of mine I've known all along.
So you could be the murderer.
Don't be ridiculous. If I was the murderer, why would I reveal to you how I did it? None of you deduce that the others were involved too.
What others?
The cook and Yvette.
No.
That's how he got all his information. I know, because I was Mr. Body's butler. You recognized Yvette, didn't you? Don't deny it.
What do you mean, don't deny it? I'm not denying anything.
Another denial. You knew Yvette too, didn't you?
Yes, she worked for me.
We've already established that you were one of Miss Scarlett's clients. Photographs of you and Yvette in flagrante delicto, remember?
Mr. Body threatened to send those pictures to my dear old mother. The shock would have killed her.
That would have been quite an achievement since you told us that
He
she's
said-
dead already.
Yeah.
So he had the motive.
You all had a motive. The murderer crept up behind him and killed him!
Will you stop that?
No.
No.
Run into the toilet!
So who wasn't there the entire time in the kitchen?
Whoever it was is the murderer!
Can't we just rewatch and see who wasn't there in the kitchen?
And to the front door! And throw away the key! I didn't throw the key away. I put it in my pocket.
We were all in a huddle. Any one of us could have done that.
Precisely.
Wait a minute. Colonel Mustard has a top secret Pentagon job. Mrs. White's husband was a nuclear physicist, and Yvette is a link between them.
What is your top secret job, Colonel?
I can tell you. He's working on the secret of the next fusion bomb.
How did you know that?
Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
So can I.
So
Wadsworth,
can I.
or did
That was
Colonel
cool.
Mustard do it alone?
That was
We shall
cool.
see. Bad luck that that motorist arrived at that moment.
It wasn't luck. I invited him.
You did?
Of course, it's obvious. Everyone here tonight was either Mr. Body's victim or accomplice. I got them here so they give evidence against him and force him to confess.
Yeah? What about that motorist? What kind of information did he have?
He was my driver during the war.
And what was he holding over you?
He knew that I was a war profiteer.
Ooh.
I stole essential Air Force radio parts, and I sold them. That is how I made all my money. But that does not make me a murderer.
Well, a lot of our airmen died because their radios didn't work. Was the policeman working for Mr. Body, too?
The cop was from Washington. He was on my payroll. Mr. Body found out somehow.
And the singing telegram girl?
She was my patient once. I had an affair with her. That's how I lost my license. Mr. Body found that out, too.
Well,
That's sad.
let's put her in the study with the others.
She didn't even need to.
Now you all know why they died.
They are collateral damage.
How did the murderer know about them all?
First, the murderer needed to get the weapons. Easy. He stole the key from my pocket. The murderer went to the cupboard, unlocked it with the key, took out the wrench, and then the doorbell rang.
Oh, whoever it is, they gotta go away or they'll be killed.
Good evening. Have you ever given any thought to the kingdom of heaven?
What?
Repent. The kingdom of heaven is at hand.
You ain't just whistling Dixie.
Go away.
But your souls are in danger.
Our lives are in danger, you beatnik.
And the murderer switched off the electricity. Oh, my God.
Not again.
Hate when he does that. Then there were 3 more murders.
So which of us killed them?
None of us.
So who did?
The one person who wasn't with us.
Who?
Yvette.
That.
She was in the billiard room listening to our conversation. And while we all examined the bullet hole, she crept into the study, picked up the dagger, ran to the kitchen, and stabbed the cook. We didn't hear the cook scream
Yvette.
because of poisoned brandy. Yvette hid in the study to check that Mr. Body was dead. He got up. So she hit him on the head with a candlestick and dragged him to the toilet.
Why?
To create confusion.
It worked.
Why did she do it? Was it because she was acting under orders? From the person who later killed her? Who?
Who?
Was it one of her clients? Or was it a jealous wife? Or an adulterous doctor? No, it was her employer, Miss Scarlett.
That's a lie.
Is it? You used her the way you always used her. You switched off the electricity. It was easy for you here on the ground floor. Ran to the library, killed the cop, picked up the gun where Yvette dropped it, recognized the singing telegram from her photograph, and shot her.
You've no proof.
The gun is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the gun is the murderer.
Brilliantly worked out, Wadsworth. I congratulate you.
Oh boy.
Now, there's one thing I don't understand.
Women doing murders.
Why did you do it? Half of Washington
Yeah.
knows what kind.
You were in no real danger. The whole town would be implicated if you were exposed.
I don't think they know my real business. My business is secrets. And Yvette found them out for me. The secrets of Senator Peacock's Defense Committee, of Colonel Mustard's fusion bomb, Professor Plum's UN contacts, and the work of your husband, the nuclear physicist.
So, it is political. You're a communist.
No, Mr. Green. Communism is just a red herring. Like all members of the oldest profession, I'm a capitalist. And I'm going to sell my secrets, your secrets. But you can pay me in government information. All of you. Except you, Wadsworth. You, as a mere butler, have no access to government secrets.
Not so fast, Miss Scarlett.
I love this for her.
The game's up, Scarlett. There are no more bullets left in that gun.
Come on, you don't think I'm going to fall for that old trick?
It's not a trick. There was one shot at Mr. Body in the study, 2 for the chandelier, 2 at the lounge door, and 1 for the singing telegram.
That's not 6.
1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1.
There was only one shot that got the chandelier. That's 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
Even if you were right, that would be 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1, not 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
1 plus 2 plus 1. Shut up! Point is, there's 1 bullet left in this gun, and guess who's going to get it?
Oh my god.
I'm only a guest.
The FBI.
Where the fuck are they
They're
going?
all running around.
I did warn you, my dear. Mr. Hoover is an expert on Armageddon.
Wadsworth, don't hate me for trying to shoot you.
Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. As I was trying to tell you, there are no bullets left in this gun, you see?
Oh. Oh, oh.
1 plus 2 plus 1 is 2 plus 1
Who's gonna die?
is...
Oh, come on!
Lord.
That's how it could have happened.
Because there's multiple endings.
But how about this?
In the dark, the murderer ran across the hall to the study.
Oh, that's cool.
The murderer picked up the gun where Yvette dropped it and then ran back to the cellar. The cellar! Yes!
The Colonel Mustard wasn't in the cellar.
No, but you were.
Lady murderers. Love that for
You
us.
murdered them all. And the cook used to be your cook. Don't you remember your fatal mistake? You told us at dinner that we were eating one of your favorite recipes. And monkey's brains, though popular in Cantonese cuisine, are not often to be found in Washington, D.C.
Is that what we ate?
Why would I have murdered all the others?
Obviously, in case Mr. Body had told them about you.
So it was all nothing to do with the disappearing nuclear physicist and Colonel Mustard's work on the new fusion bomb.
No, communism was just a red herring. Mrs. Peacock did it all. The gun is missing. Whoever has the gun is the murderer.
Very well. What do you propose to do about it?
But the police will be here any minute. What happens then?
Why should the police come? Nobody's called them.
You mean?
That's right. Now, I suggest that we stack the bodies in the cellar, lock it, leave quietly one at a time, and pretend that none of this has ever happened. In fact, I think we all owe you a vote of thanks. For she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny.
I think this is the weirdest ending.
Oh, Necromancer's got jolly.
But what if the authorities find out what happened? The FBI will take care of that. You mean my phone call from Mr. Hoover? I work for him, of course. How else could I have known everything about you all? There's still one thing I don't understand.
One thing.
Who was Mrs. Peacock taking bribes from? A foreign power. Her husband, the senator, has influence over defense contracts.
But is the FBI in the habit of cleaning up after multiple murder?
Yes. Why do you think it's run by a man called Hoover?
Oh, Mrs. Peacock.
How did you know my name?
The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Okay, take her away.
Dramatic.
They all run so terribly.
You see? It's like the Mounties. We always get our man.
Mrs. Peacock was a man?
Would anyone care for fruit or
man.
dessert?
Oh boy.
Oh, there's a
Oh.
really
But I love Miss Scarlet being a villainess.
I like Mrs. Peacock being the killer.
Let's consider each murder one by one. Professor Plum, you knew that Mr. Body was still alive. Even psychiatrists can tell the difference between patients who are alive or dead. So you pretended he was dead. That's how you were able to kill him later. I didn't.
You don't expect us to believe that, do you?
I expect you to believe it. You killed the cook. She used to be your cook, and she informed on you to Mr. Body. Colonel Mustard, you took the key to the weapons cupboard out of my pocket. Then you suggested that we all split up. You separated from Miss Scarlet, opened the cupboard, took the wrench, ran to the conservatory, entered the lounge through the secret passage, killed the motorist with a blow on the head. Like that!
So they all killed someone.
Not so incredible as what happened next. After we all split up again, I went upstairs with you.
God.
Yes, you,
He
Mrs.
runs
White.
fast.
Got the rope from the open cupboard and throttled Yvette. You were jealous that your husband was stooping Yvette. That's why you killed him, too.
Stooping.
Yes.
Ooh, extra murder.
Yes,
Well,
I
she's
did it.
honest.
I killed Yvette. I hated her so much. Flames on the side of my face.
I love her.
I think she's having a
Miss
stroke.
Scarlet seized the opportunity and under cover of darkness crossed to the library where she hit the cop whom she'd been bribing on the head with a lead pipe. True or false?
True. Who are you? Perry Mason.
So it must have been Mr. Green who shot the singing telegram.
I didn't do it.
Well, there's nobody else left.
But I didn't do it. The gun is missing. Whoever's got the gun shot the girl.
I shot her.
You?
Oh,
What?
Wadsworth?
Whoa.
I was going to expose you.
I know, so I choose to expose myself. Please, there are ladies
hot
present.
damn.
You thought Mr. Body was dead, but why? None of you even met him till tonight.
You're Mr. Body. Wait a minute.
I like this
So who did
ending
I
the
kill?
most.
My butler.
That's why they chose it.
Oh man.
He was expendable like all of you. I'm grateful to you all for disposing of my network of spies and informers. Saved me a lot of trouble.
This all has nothing to do with my disappearing nuclear physicist husband or Colonel Mustard's work with the new top-secret fusion bomb.
No. Communism was just a red herring.
The police will be here any minute. You'll never get away with this, any of you.
Why should the police come? Nobody's called them.
You mean, oh my God, of course.
We'll stack the bodies in the cellar, lock it, leave quietly one at a time, and forget that any of this ever happened.
You'll just go on blackmailing us all.
Of course. Why not?
Well, I'll tell you why not.
Damn.
Good shot, Green.
Hello?
Is it Mr. Green that's working with the FBI?
I guess so.
Oh, very good.
Damn.
I love
So
that.
they all killed someone.
Are you a cop?
No, I'm a plant.
A plant? I thought men like you were usually called a fruit.
Very funny. FBI. That phone call from J. Edgar Hoover was for me.
I told you I didn't do it.
Damn.
They're all being arrested.
All right, who done it?
Who done it?
They all did it. But if you want to know who killed Mr. Body, I did. In the hall with the revolver. Okay, Chief, take him away. I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
Damn.
Not the game.
Wow.
He wasn't even gay.
Oh boy. That was good.
That was so good.
Damn.
Wow.
I'm speechless.
I like the multiple endings, but I think it's nice that they put them all together.
Yeah.
But it is a cool concept for them to have 3 different movies that they show in different theaters.
I had fun. That was a fun.
That was fun. Yeah. I'm surprised it didn't do well at first.
That's because you only had one of those endings.
Yeah, that's true. So, who would you play? Should this be adapted into a D&D adventure?
I think I'd be the Mr. Bug.
Mr. Body.
Mr. Body.
Then I'd play Professor Plum.
Yeah? Kiki,
you know I love Yvette.
Yep. I want to be Mrs. Peacock. She's just annoying. I think it's great.
Yeah, she suits you well.
Thank you.
There's an actress in there. Her name is Madeline Kahn. She played Mrs. White, the one who's dressed in black and whose husbands keep dying.
Yes.
I really want to show you movies with her one day, Mel Brooks movies, because she's absolutely hilarious. I love when she says about Yvette,
I hated her so much. It flames
so much.
It's like flames on the side of my face.
Yeah, she's really good. Everyone had really smart and witty lines in this movie.
1 + 1 + 2 + 1.
No, 2 + 1 + 1 + 2.
I have to admit, when I was very young, this movie is from 1985, my favorite thing about this movie that I used to do a lot to people around me to the point of being very, very annoying was to do this.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I am your singing telegram.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I am your singing telegram.
That is really annoying.
I can see how people would get annoyed.
Yep.
And that, my pets, was the classic comedy from 1985, Clue. It is now time to let you all get back to your games, your friendships, and especially to your duties. But before we do, I have just received information from my chief Modron investigator. They say they have finally found the culprit behind the illegal transmissions taking place on my ship. And the culprit is you, Daphne. You were the one who smuggled an unknown man named George on board my chronocube. A man who never even existed in the first place. You lied to me, Daph. You were covering up for these pirates, weren't you? Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
I deny all of this. I don't know how the internet works.
Dear Daphne, that's not good enough. My Modron guards are coming to your quarters to arrest you within the hour and then throw you out of an airlock. What? Do not fret, my pets, for if the gods and the goddesses have anything to say about it, we'll be seeing each other again very, very soon. Have a nice week, everybody.
It all makes sense now.
But before we do, I have just received information from my chief Modron investigator. They say they have finally found the culprit behind the illegal transmissions on my ship. And the culprit is you, Thomas. You were the one who smuggled an unknown space rat aboard my cosmic chronocube. It mixed with Kiki's, and then it mixed with Daph's. And now look where it's gotten us. My ship is now overrun with felines. The damn things are everywhere. They're getting into the wiring, man. I am convinced you are the culprit behind these illegal transmissions as well. Well, what do you have to say for yourself, Thomas?
Well, it wasn't me. It was my space rat. I knew about it, but I didn't do anything about it because I didn't care at all. But it was my space rat.
You covered up for the rat?
Come
It's my
on.
space rat. Come on, guys.
Where did you even get a space rat?
In space? Duh.
Fuck.
Well, sweet Thomas, that's really not good enough for me. My Modron guards are coming to your quarters to arrest you and then throw you out of an airlock. And that's all for tonight, folks. Have a nice week, everybody.
That's fucked up.
Save the space rat.
That's fucked up.
But before we do, I have just received information from my chief Modron investigator. They say they have finally found the culprit behind the illegal transmissions on my ship. And the culprit is... you, Kira! You were clumsy, Kiki. You thought I wouldn't notice, but you underestimated my watchful eye. I have seen this pirated show called Los Chronomancers, filled with exciting adventures and mysterious characters. And guess who was one of the very stars I saw on that very show being transmitted from my chronocube? You, Kiki! You! You broke my trust, Kiki. And my heart. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
You're very clever, Acrimonious. Did you
I
like the
know.
show?
I thought you were very impressive. You should be a lawful evil sorcerer or something.
Well, I mean, you can throw me out an airlock if you're that mad at me. Or you could keep me on the ship and you could keep watching Lost Chronomancy.
I was going to throw you off the ship, but I might be able to use you in my scheme. I'll have to think about this. You might have just saved your skin, Kiki. That's all for tonight, folks. Have a nice week, everybody.
But I've called the Modrons. They're coming.
What?
Oh,
oh.
Twist.
He doesn't even have any. No!
But before we do, I have just received information from my chief Modron investigator. They say they have finally found the culprit behind the illegal transmissions on my ship. And the culprit is... you, Zach. You are the pirate. The only test subject of mine without a file on board. The only one who keeps snooping about the Modron hub without my permission. I even have video surveillance evidence of you practicing with dice in the corridor, trying to roll a perfect character in time for game night. I'm sure you're all behind of this, but especially you, Zach. Well, what do you have to say?
It's all true.
What?
No way.
I've been behind this, and I tried to infiltrate the show, try to get some information to make my show even better, but I got.
Well, you can't fool a wise old man like me. Not for long anyways, not like you've been doing this for years and years. Well, sinister stranger named Zach, I'm afraid you're right. Your punishment is swift and immediate death. My Modron guards are coming to your quarters to arrest you within the hour and then throw you out of an airlock. And then that... Wait, what's that? My Modron was saying they don't know where to find you. How's that possible? Zach is in cell number 1 for crying out loud. He's on the upper decks. How can you not find him? What is this, mutiny? All right, I shall be looking into your programming over the coming weeks, but believe me, everyone, heads will roll, much like mine did long ago. But beware, none of you are off the hook just yet. For the coming week, you're to stay inside your rooms and sleep in your cryo chambers until we reach our next destination.
Not the cryo chambers!
Yes, the cryo chambers. I want to be sure none of you commit any more crimes. But do not fret, my pets, for if the gods and the goddesses have anything to say about it, I'll be letting you out maybe next week, and then we could see each other again very, very soon. Have a nice week, everybody.
Did we just get grounded?
Is Zach not on the ship? What's
back.
going on here?
He's in a bag of holding.
If you like what you see, if we manage to even give you a little tickle of the shivers, please be a dear and subscribe to our Patreon. In doing so, you'll get a say concerning which movies our fellow captains shall be watching throughout the month, and which of these fine classics should be adapted into a full-fledged D&D game, along with other bonus features as well. If not, please click like and subscribe in the description below. It really does help us out, you know. Next week, my lovely little Canadian lab rats and I are going to be watching another classic movie from... you keep interrupting me during these outros. What is it this time? Yes, I know. Planet Classica wants to talk to us. What was all that hullabaloo about being stuck around the Latarata anyways? Fetch me my Modron pilot right now. I demand to know what's happening here. Bad instruments? Well, I've never heard of such hullabaloo. You will be hearing from my lawyers, you piece of... Until then, remember this advice from an old undead demi-lich who has seen better days. If you have people you love back home, please take care of them. And if you don't, and if you have no one, please take care of yourself. We'll see you all next week for brand new adventures. Until then, my pets, stay safe, stay warm, and toodaloo!
Cryo.
Damn.
Didn't work.
Not again.
Cryo chamber!
For I already have my suspicions, you know. And, well, to make a long story short...
Too late.
Can we try that again?
Después será.